Today I'm gonna have a look at the Drop PC38Xs. And when Drop reached out offering to send this headset for review, I was really excited because the previous version of this headset, the PC37Xs, are very highly regarded. And these are basically them, but with better drivers. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they are very good. Picture a flesh-eating bacteria tunneling through your eardrums into your brain. Gaming with this headset is kind of like the opposite of that. Let's talk a little bit physically about these headphones, because there's a lot to like about them. They have nice big ear cups where you actually have an option for two different pad types. There's this kind of cloth material, which feels a little bit like a wetsuit, and then there's a velour material. I preferred the sound and the comfort of the more wetsuit kind of material, but it's nice that you have the option for both of them. They are very comfortable, they fit on your ears very well. The kind of top band is nice and plush. They do get hot after a while, so after like 2 or 3 hours of gaming, they do start warming up on your ears, so that's something to bear in mind. But they are one of the more comfortable pairs of headphones I've worn. They have two cable options, both which are quite nicely braided. You get like a 3-meter cable, which is for like PC use, that has a headphone jack and a microphone jack. And then there's a shorter version, which is a really nice inclusion because it's got like an angled 3.5 TRRS jack, which can plug into like controllers and stuff. And this actually works really well for console gaming. They look quite nice. The yellow fabric material seems to be a bit divisive. A bunch of people don't like that very much. But in all honesty, it looks a lot more yellow on camera than it does in real life. It's quite inoffensive. It's not as gamery looking as you'd expect. This headset has a boom mic arm which actually mutes when you lift it up, which is really nice. It's fairly malleable, so you can position it more or less where you want it to in relation to your mouth. Let's have a listen to what it sounds like, because I'm not a huge fan of the sound of the actual boom arm. Let's just have a quick listen. Here is a quick sound test of the boom mic arm on the Drop PC38Xs, and here is a quick plosive test. Perry, pinch in the ploppy poon. As you can see, it is very intelligible. You can clearly hear what I'm saying, but it does kind of like chop off the lower register of my voice a bit. So it does make it sound a bit thin, which is not ideal. So if you really care about mic sound quality, I would still get a dedicated mic with this headset. But if all you do is shout at noobs and Rust or whatever, it's perfectly fine for that job. Before we talk about sound quality, there are a couple of things that I want to mention. The first one is, for most of the testing, I was actually using the NZXT N7 Z490 motherboard's onboard audio. So this is a new motherboard that's actually being launched today by NZXT, and yeah, it has decent onboard audio, and it worked very well with the PC38Xs. So I'll have the specifications of its onboard audio listed over here. So I didn't have like a fancy DAC or anything like that. What is it like to game with these headphones, first off, because that's kind of what they're designed to do? It's really good. They do all of the things that you need for gaming headphones really well. They've got a very good soundstage with very good positioning, so it means you can hear where people are in relation to you really well, even though it doesn't have any 7.1 surround gimmicks in it. It's got really good positional audio, and then its bass is great. It's got good low-end extension, which means that explosions have a real gut kick to them. Visceral is definitely a word I'd use. And then we get to the mid-range, which that's kind of where these headphones don't really do that great a job. They sound amazing for gaming headphones, but their mids are too recessed for my liking. Although my opinion on the mid presentation of headphones may be a bit skewed, because I spent several years listening to the Sennheiser HD650s with a bottle head crack. And that combination has some of the best mid-range that you can get in headphones. And what that translates into in real life is, it's kind of like having the vocalist reach out of the headphones and just gently lick your eardrum repeatedly until you reach climax, right? That's what that combination feels like. So after having my eardrums gently licked by musicians for many years, I really love a velvety mid-range. That to me is one of the most important characteristics of a very enjoyable set of headphones. But there is a bit of a problem with that sound signature in that it's not that great for gaming, because you need that kind of shrill high end to really sell the brutality of like gunfire and explosions and stuff like that. Now, I don't know if you've heard explosions in real life, but they don't really lick your eardrums more as attack them with rusty nails, and that kind of HD 650 bottlehead crack combination could never sell just very realistic gunfights in the way that you'd kind of want from them. And that's why the brighter, more treble-focused sound signature of the PC38Xs actually makes them better for gaming than a more velvety mid-range would have. In conclusion, the drop PC38Xs are amazing for gaming. Their just sound presentation can't really be much better. They have really good soundstage. You can easily hear where everything is around you. Explosions and gunfire and footsteps and all of that is very realistic and easy to distinguish from each other and position in the soundscape around you. They're very easy to drive as well, so you can plug them into anything and they'll sound amazing. They have a mic that doesn't sound great in my opinion, but it's very intelligible and you can use it to shout at noobs and Rust or whatever. It does that well as well. The problem with them is the fact that they cost $170 US, which is a lot of money. Now, I'm not saying that they're not worth $170 because they're top tier gaming headphones. I think that they're definitely worth the money. The only reason that the price tag of this headset is an issue for me, other than just making it less accessible to everybody, is the fact that it costs the exact same amount as the Drop HD 58Xs, which I also own. They're here somewhere. They are almost as good for gaming as the PC38Xs, but they have a much nicer mid-range in my opinion, which means that there's more musicality for music listening and stuff like that. So if you have like a 50-50 mix between gaming and like watching movies and listening to music with your headphones, I would recommend going with the HD 58Xs instead because of that mid-range. I'm not saying that they're bad at music reproduction and movies and stuff like that. In fact, for a gaming headset, they are spectacularly good at it. They just don't have that tongue on eardrum mid-range action, and that's why I'd rather go for something like an HD 58Xs for that kind of mixed use case. In short, only gaming, PC38Xs. Gaming and music and other stuff, get the HD 58Xs. And with that, it brings me to the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. This is very different to the normal content that I do, but I really like this hobby, so I'd like to be able to introduce it in content more. So let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and all of that stuff. And until the next video, bye-bye.